Oh, hello and welcome back. I'm so glad that you decided to come back today and join me here in my kitchen. I've been chopping up some nuts while you've been gone, and in preparation for today's program, we're going to be making a Maple Nut Granola Bar. Pretty much a very nice meal replacement bar, especially for breakfast. You can have one or two of these and they are amazing. So that's what we are going to be working towards today. And we're going to get started by soaking some flaxseed in 1/3 of a cup of water. So 1/3 of a cup of flaxseed and 1/3 of a cup of water. And that's just going to get mixed up here. And then we'll just let it sit while we prepare the rest of our ingredients. Now I do hope that you don't mind getting your hands a little bit messy because, well, that is something that is going to happen today. So this is definitely one of those hands-on recipes. So there we go. We've got our flaxseed soaking. Now, while our flaxseed soaks, we're going to combine a few things. We're going to combine 1.5 cups of dates, which, well, I've got to grab out of the refrigerator. So, here we are, 1.5 cups of dates. I thought I was all ready to go, but that happens sometimes. So here we go, 1.5 cups of dates. Oh, they did take the seeds out of these. These are pitted, but sometimes the little ends just get stuck on there. So as you are going through your dates, you know, that's another good thing just to take off. They don't need to show up in your recipe, in my opinion. So this will provide a good sweetness to your bar. So, notice I'm not packing them down very hard. You can if you want. So 1.5 cups of dates, that's about what I have left there. And that's all going into the blender. Now, I've also got 1 1/3 cups of hot water already in here. We're going to add 4 tablespoons of maple syrup. I mean, this is a maple nut bar after all, right? So let's get some pure maple in there. So there's 2 tablespoons and another 2 tablespoons, and oops, I just added just a little bit extra maple. Just because I like the maple flavor. I'm also going to add a couple of tablespoons of agave, and then we're going to go with 1.5 tablespoons of molasses. Alright, since this is already kind of syruped up, maybe we'll just do about a little bit over 1.5 cups, or 1.5 tablespoons, so about 2 tablespoons. There we go. So, got that, and now of course our little measuring spoon, thank you for the word, is all nice and coated. I'm going to do 3 tablespoons of some vanilla protein powder. So 1, 2, oh, that's a good heaping tablespoon there. And 3, And a pinch to grow an inch. There we go. Because exact measurements are important. And my daughter over here, my videographer, is just laughing and smiling. Oh my goodness, it's fun. It's fun to cook. I enjoy it, and I hope you do too. So, we're going to add a couple tablespoons, a couple heaping tablespoons of some chai seeds here. So there's 1 tablespoon, and another tablespoon there. I don't want to use this one because it's all gummed up, but because I did have just a little bit of extra maple syrup there, I'm going to throw in just a little bit of extra on the chai as well. So I'm going to clean that out of my way here. And while sweet is good, it's good to throw in a little bit of salt as well. So that can help bring out the flavor just as much as anything. So a good heaping tablespoon, or teaspoon of salt. Now, salt is definitely something you don't want to add a whole heck of a lot of extra to, or you will be tossing out your recipe and starting it all over. Am I right? Very good. Okay. So that's about it for that particular portion. Fairly simple. And we're going to throw this right on here and give it a whirl. Now this is going to be somewhat thick. It's not going to be extremely liquidy, so we will be using a spatula and perhaps even our fingers to get it out. So here we go. Alright, so that's not too entirely thick. I definitely have made things that are a lot thicker. I'm going to close up the pecans here as I was chopping while you guys were taking a break. So just clearing off my table here because we're going to need the room for making stuff. So my flax seed has set up really nicely here. That of course is going to get mixed in to the other things that we've got coming. So I'm going to do some oats here. I want 3 cups of oats, but I'm going to skip that part. I'm going to show you this really quick. This is almond meal. So I made this morning when I was making my almond milk. So this is remnants of making my almond milk after I strained it. Okay, so there's the almond milk, and used to have a lot more. I've already used quite a bit of it from the recipe I did this morning. And so instead of just tossing that out, I'm going to use that along with about 1/4 cup more of just chopped almonds. Okay, so I'm going to throw that into the bowl here. There we go. And I'm also going to be tossing in 3/4 of a cup of pecans and 1/2 cup of hazelnut and 1/2 cup of, oh, there's part of one, a Brazil nut. 1/2 cup of Brazil nuts. Now, this is Maple Nut Bars, so you could alter the nut as you want. If you wanted to throw in some walnuts, or you didn't have some pecans, you just wanted to do more almonds or hazelnuts, whatever the case might be, you just change it as needed, okay? So there's our nuts for this recipe. We're going to do 3 cups of oatmeal. There we go. And that's it for this portion. So now what we're going to be doing is mixing our ingredients from our blender into here. So there we go. Pour that right over everything. Use your spatula. Get under that blender blade. Scrape it out. And this is smelling really good. Now I am actually going to be using a dehydrator, but if you didn't have a dehydrator, you could bake these in the oven. So, of course, if you're baking them in the oven, that's going to not make it a raw recipe, but that's life. Not everything is raw. Okay, there we go. Tasty. So, I'm going to start here with our spatula. Start to get that to go around. And you're going to see your nuts and your oatmeal and all of that starting to combine. Looking really nice. I am going to throw my hands in here now and we're going to get kind of messy. Because you want to have a good mixture on this. You want all of this to be nice mixed. Remember that you threw in salt and other ingredients, so you want it, you don't all want that to all be in one place, right? So definitely don't be worried about getting in here and getting your hands a little messy. All right, I think that's about it. Now we're going to take out our one of our dehydrator sheets and use a Teflex sheet on it, and I'm going to kind of form about a good size ball of dough there in my hand, and then I'm going to put it here on my sheet. I think I actually got too much here, so quarter, you want it to spread out to about 1/4 of an inch thickness. I want there to be plenty of bars that are going to fit on one sheet. And you're just going to form that bar to the shape that you want it to be. If you wanted to do something round, you know, wanted to do like a cookie type thing, you're certainly welcome to do that. I'm making bars. My boys like these when they're out on the job, and they can just grab one and bite into it and then just kind of keep on going, so it doesn't have to slow them down very much. So there we go. So these are going to be about 1/4 of an inch thick and about 2 inches wide and about 4 inches long, just like that. And I'm going to repeat that process for the remainder of this dough. So I can do that by myself. For you, I'm going to show you what we do after we get the bars all made. So I'm going to put the other dehydrator sheet on this, and then I'm just going to flip it, and we're just going to peel the Teflon sheet right off of this. It might stick a little bit. There you go. And you're going to end up with several bars. You're just going to stick this into your dehydrator and turn it on to about 105 degrees and leave it for about 12 to 15 hours. So I'll be checking this again tomorrow morning and seeing how they are progressing. So you're going to dehydrate these, like I say, about 12 to 15 hours to your desired crispiness, okay? And then you can, of course, enjoy them from there on out. Keep in mind that these are a living food, or a raw food if you will. So you want to store your excess in the refrigerator until they're ready to be eaten. So that's it for me today. Y'all have a great day, and I'll see you next time, okay? Oh, and one more thing before I go. Please hit those like and subscribe buttons for us and help us out here on our channel. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.